That's the sound of a big deal. At Wayfair, that sound happens a lot. Dream sofa for half the price? Big deal. New dining table you've been eyeing for months? Big deal. Finally picking up those last few pieces and finishing that bedroom? Now that's a really big deal. Whatever your home needs, Wayfair has the selection, the savings, and over millions of 5-star reviews to back it up. Shop Wayfair.com today before someone else snags your big deal.
Wayfair, every style, every home.
What kind of person are you? What kind of followers are you gathering? Ones that look the part or ones that do their part? Stay tuned and find out.
Welcome.
Okay, here's the question.
Serious?
How are we dark horses? You know, the ones everyone is betting against, the ones they don't expect to win, place, or even show on the track, and they'll even laugh on us when we talk about trying. How do we show the world our greatness and triumph?
Come on.
Well, that's the question, and this podcast will give you the answers.
Let's go.
This is The Dark Horse Entrepreneur. My name is Tracy Brinkman.
And push it out.
All right, hello, my Dark Horse friends and family. Welcome back to your daily dose of Change My Life in 15 minutes or less learning. You know me, I'm your Dark Horse host, Tracy Brinkman, and I'm hoping you know you. And if not, we're going to dig in a little bit deeper in that today, but I think you are that driven entrepreneur, and you're here today because you're ready to start, restart, kickstart, or just start leveling up with some great marketing, personal, or business tips and results in order to build that beautiful business of yours into the empire it absolutely deserves to be. That's why I'm here dropping another daily success episode on the Dark Horse Entrepreneur as we dive deep into success, giving you some actionable advice, tips, and steps designed to help you level up your game, because as we all already know, there's no shortcuts to success except for taking those daily steps towards your goal every single day. Now, as the title suggests, we're going to chat a little bit about players versus pretenders. And for me, I know there's a connotation with the word player, right? There's the guy that is out there playing the field, scooping up all the ladies and just playing them. No, that's not what I'm talking about today. For me, what I'm talking about is a player who's someone who's in the game, right? He's committed to the game. He is a player, right? He's in there. He's gutting it out every single day, learning his craft, busting his chops, getting shit done, right? And a pretender, well, that one's kind of self-explanatory. We all know those pretenders. They may talk a good game, but they're just kind of, let's call it scratching around the surface, scratching around the edges. And I think one of the greatest ways to define it is a player is someone who gets in there and does their part, where a pretender really is just kind of, acting the part. And so many times we hear the phrase, fake it till you make it. I said, but, I think there's a level of truth to that. But even a player is in there learning. Being themselves along the way with the pretender is really, again, I'm going to repeat myself. They're just kind of acting. And the downside is pretenders can slow an organization or a team down, right? They can steal momentum. And worst of all, they damage relationships. They live for themselves. What every great entrepreneur needs to have is this we mentality versus that I mentality. And the pretenders, they're all about me, not we. Now, can a pretender become a player? I think the answer is yes. I think so many times that the pretenders are going with that fake it till you make it. But I think under the core, the pretender is going to have some personality shifts, and those are the areas we want to focus in on here. There's about 5 of them we're going to drill into, and let's just get into it, right? I think one of the first big differences between players and pretenders is players, they have a servant's mindset, while pretenders have a selfish mindset. We're all here for a given reason. I think no matter what spiritual beliefs you may have, I'm of the mindset that we're not here for ourselves. I think we're really here for the sake of others, and how much we're able to give to others, I think really helps determine our true happiness. And, at the end of the day, our true success in life. And I'm not even going to define that in financial terms. I mean, you can go so far as fulfillment terms, heartful terms, etc. So for those that are out there grinding away for the sole purpose of improving themselves, that's not bad. But for those that are here for the sake of lining their own pockets, see, I think that's the selfish mindset. But if you're here to give and to serve your fellow man, and hey, if you get paid in the process, right on, more power to you. But you got to be here to serve. And you've heard me talk about that servant's mindset again and again and again. All right. So the next area is, I think players are mission conscious. This is my military background coming out. Pretenders are position conscious. Let's think about that for a second. Even if we put that into a military construct, a player will give up a position in order to achieve a mission, right? How many times we've seen in the movies or read about in history where the smart general or leader gave up a position in order to salvage a mission? See, pretenders won't do that. Pretenders are all about, hey, I earned this position. I'm not giving it up. They don't care about the mission. All they're worried about is their titles or their promotion or what rung they are on the ladder. Players don't promote themselves, right? Pretenders do. And quite often we've met these guys, right? And gals. This is not gender specific. We've met those pretenders who are very quick to tell you how valuable they are to how valuable their position is to the organization. And they'll go on and on and on about their accomplishments. In the meantime, the players are usually quite humble and will play down their role and probably more than likely talk up their team. While we're talking about jobs for a moment, I think players are usually very, very happy in their job, right? So even if this is an entrepreneurial discussion, they love what they do, and they do what they love very well. Pretenders, on the other hand, maybe it's because they can't do what they love, or they haven't found the love for what it is they're doing. They're always out there looking across the riverbank and, look, the grass is always greener on the other side. So you could call them, they're more job hunters. They're looking past what they're doing now towards the next greener pasture, and that green could be, again, lighting their pockets, or just something that they'll hope will finally fill that void in their heart. And within that, it kind of it also manifests itself in a few other areas for our pretender friends. I mean, they're always thinking that success is somewhere else, while our players realize that success is right here in my backyard, but I just have to grind out to make it happen. Where our pretenders are usually looking at the success of someone else, and then quite obviously, or quite often, starting to pretend to be like them or mimic the tactics that they're using, even though they might not understand what those tactics truly are behind the curtain, behind the scenes, or why they even work. And then finally, I think our pretender friends are always falling prey to the backstage blues, let's call it that, right? They're always thinking that they're missing their success of today because of the things that happened yesterday, things that are behind them, all the things that have happened backstage of their life that are keeping them from success. And quite often they're very willing to tell you about all those woes and blues. Okay, the next one, number 4, players deliver the goods. Pretenders, they just promise. I mean, I think so often we hear the message or the phrase used of the haves and the have-nots, usually when it comes to money. But what about if we changed our perspective of the do's and the do-nots, right? And usually the do's and the do-nots result in the haves and the have-nots. I mean, how many people have we seen out there? They're doing, and they fall and they get up and they dust themselves off, and they do and they fall and they get up and they dust themselves off. They trip, they stumble, they bumble, they fall, they get up. Meanwhile, the do-nots, they're over there on their couch, Netflix and chill, and they're not getting anything. They may have maybe the same amount as the do's, but eventually the do's win out. They fall that one last time and they get up and they dust themselves off once again and they start doing again and they finally hit their stride. And then the do-nots are going, hey, wait a minute. Why is he succeeding? So, my dark horse friends and family, stand up, take a step, be a doer. And keep doing, right? Now, there's going to be a time when you're going to dude, I got to chill. And you can be a do-not for a while. But get up and start being a doer again after you've rested. And I saved what I hope is the best for last, and I've been lucky enough to feel this one. Players love to see others succeed. Pretenders, sadly, they're only interested in their own success. And I take this one even back to my corporate America days, back in the Coca-Cola days. I actually had an employee of mine get promoted past me. And I was sitting out at dinner with some friends one night, and they're like, oh, you're talking about, so-and-so? She got promoted over you? Doesn't that piss you off? I'm like, no, I hired her. I trained her. She was amazing from the get-go. I knew she was going places, and I made sure she was equipped to do just that. That reflected on me as a leader as far as I was concerned. Plus, I got to live vicariously through her, and then over time, I was promoted as well. But the point is that our players love to see others succeed. Quite often, that comes with their servant mentality, where our pretenders, they're worried about lining their own pockets. And I think that comes back to having a purpose. And for me, I don't think the purpose in life is to win. The purpose isn't to get to that goal of $1 million. I think that purpose of life is really to grow and to share. Is you've heard me mention this one before. Who do you need to become to be worthy of that $1 million? That's that growing and sharing, growing to become the person that's worthy of it. And along that path, I think that worth comes with being able to share with others what you've learned, what you have, what you can give of them to help them grow and share, right? And I think to really grow and share, you're going to have to, you're going to have your own goals. You're going to have to build yourself. You're going to be a personal achiever. And at the same time, right, to be able to build yourself and grow yourself via goal setting or just learning and implementing what you learn, very key there in that personal achiever. You're also going to need to be a team player because gosh knows you can't get it all done all by your damn self, right? And as being a part of the team player mentality, right? You're going to elevate yourself and you're going to elevate the others on the team. And to do that, you're going to have to be a team builder, all right? So you got to build yourself and you have to play well with the others on your team, and then you have to build the team, and then that builds yourself, and that helps you play better with the team, and that helps you build a better team. And see how that creates this amazing circle? And I think finally, if we think about it, when it comes to being players, players are real. You've heard me talk about this a number of times. Be yourself, right? You don't try to perform for other folks. Don't try to, don't perform for others. Just be who you are. And if that means you're a performer in the first place, that's fine. But don't be something else just to build a following, right? Always be open and truthful. And quite often, when you're being that open and telling your story, you'll find the right folks will be attracted to you. Have nothing to hide. They say the truth will set you free, right? Plus, if you're hiding this stuff, you've got to keep hiding it, right? And then that will finally create a lie that you're going to have to tell. And then you're going to have to remember the lie. And that's going to have to create more lies. See, pretending you can feel that starting to happen, right? Lie upon lie after shift after remembering and all that stuff. Being a player is easy because you're just being yourself, while being a pretender is going to be a whole lot more exhausting. All right, you guys, there we go. Another great week wrapped up here on the Dark Horse HQ. You digging it? You digging these daily episodes? Let me know. And if you want to keep getting them, what you got to do? That's right. You got to go on there and hit that subscribe button, and you'll keep getting these daily episodes as well as the weekly interviews from the inspiring entrepreneurs I'm lucky enough to be able to get on here. And while you're down there hitting that subscribe button, go ahead and drop us a 5-star rating. Leave us some comments in your review. Tell us the good, the bad, the ugly. What do you think? You have questions. Hey, Tracy, why aren't you covering these topics? There's a great way to do it. Or you can, shoot me an email, tracy@darkhorseschooling.com. And hey, if you want to hang out, another place you can get a hold of me is in the Facebook group. Go to facebook.com, go to the search bar there on Facebook, type in Dark Horse Tribe in the search bar, press enter, and you'll see us right there at the top. And if for some reason you can't find us there, go to your favorite web browser. Type in darkhorseschooling.com/Dark Horse Tribe, all one word. Hit that enter key and it should take you straight there. Sign up come on in, and I look forward to hanging out with you in the Facebook group. All right, there you go. Another week wrapped up. I hope you're having a great week, had a great week, and having an even better weekend. I'll catch you again on Monday. With that, I'm going to leave you as I always do. Think successfully and take action.
Thank you for listening to the Dark Horse Entrepreneur Podcast.
Thanks for tuning in.
Check us out at www.darkhorseschooling.com.
All right.
My name is Tracy Brinkman.